Hello students. In this video we're gonna talk about a famous text from CBSE board syllabus from the book Flamingo, and the work which we're gonna talk about is an elementary school classroom in a slum. It is written by Stephen Spender, and the best thing about Stephen Spender is that he's a university dropout. He didn't complete his education, and yet he's such a brilliant poet and an essayist. So, the other thing which we need to study about, or you can remember about him, is the works he has written, like The Edge of Being. These works, they are good, but because we have an elementary school classroom in a slum in our syllabus, so we'll be discussing this one also. The poem has four stanzas, and in each stanza, see, the gist of the poem is that the schools in the slum areas are the most ignored parts, right? The most how to say, the most like nobody cares about them. First of all, I remember during my shelter once, my this main shelter trainer, she told me that, Alicia, when this thing started, the midday meal thing, right? So the children used to come to the school not for the education but for the food, and the food they used to get, they always used to save it for their families. And once they used to just come out of that, just used to cross that gate, the school gate, the whole family used to wait for that particular bowl of rice. So this is the condition over there, this is their plight, right? And at that time, getting quality education and focusing on education is completely different, you know completely a different scenario for them, different condition altogether, right? So in this poem, he has actually focused on this thing, that um how their schools are different from the other schools. So in the first paragraph, so I have actually divided all the four these paragraphs into four different themes, which we're gonna discuss. The first one is school children of a slum. So in the first stanza, he has explained that how these children are different from the other children. Have you seen the this affluent children going to school? They have their own parents are just pampering them, and they have their nice school bags, water bottles, tidy hair, and polished shoes. But how these children are, he says, that like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor. So isn't the messy hair, and somehow they are not that well shampooed. And later on, the girl with her weight down head, so it's not that the head is like she's suffering, it's just the exhaustion of life, the struggle of life, that has made that girl walk like this, right? And the other one is, further he says that the bones are twisted. For example, we people, we what we get from our parents, children, siblings, they fight that the property is mine, this one is yours. But what do they get? What, for what they are the heir, right? They are the heirs of what? The diseases, the hereditary diseases, the genetical diseases, and poverty. This is what they inherit from their parents. So their condition, and their eyes are like rat, those lifeless and big eyes and the swollen eyes. So this is the problem, the condition, the misery of these young children, the school going children. Where is the school? The school is in a slum. So the next, and later he says, here he has, in the second paragraph, he has compared what? He has compared that the world of the rich people is completely different from these poor people. How? He says, on sour cream walls, donations. So the walls is like sour cream. Have you ever seen sour cream? It's not just that it has changed its color from white to off-white, it stinks, it has those fungus patches, right? It's decaying. Similarly, the walls are such. So that's why. And have you ever been there? I think once you'll go there, you will realize that how miserable their life is. And I personally, like feel like that the good thing any politician has done is, like, now Arvind Kejriwal has been doing this thing, that at least these should be clean, the washroom should be clean, they should also get something which we take for granted. We all have already taken these things for granted, maybe because we are paying good. But these schools are also, get paid by the government, but still their condition is miserable. And then he says that that what's the use of these windows? That, they can't look out of them, or the world they are looking out is not their own world. The things which are you're trying to teach them here in this classroom, once you look out of the school, the reality is completely different. Like he says that their futures painted with a fog. Painted with a fog means it's dhundla, it's foggy, it's blurred. It's not like us that where do you see yourself after 5 years, and I'm focused that I see myself here. They can't say this thing. For them, earning the bread is the difficult thing. And here there was another line that they are more like, these squirrels. Although they call it a squirrel game, but I think what I have taken it metaphorically is, have you ever seen a squirrel game is not just playing things. She collects the food throughout the day and then stores it. Similarly, they are also just working for the food, कि दो वक्त की रोटी मिल जाए and we'll be happy. Unlike us, we are working for the better luxuries. कि अभी मेरे पास करेटा आ गई, so I'll be buying BMW. अब BMW आ गई, तो maybe I'll be going for Brabus. So their struggle is completely different from ours. In case we'll paint Shakespeare, we'll paint the globe, we'll paint the world, we'll paint Eiffel Tower, painting will not change their reality. What would? That we're gonna discuss, right? So in the next paragraph, he says, surely Shakespeare is wicked, the map a bad example. So he says that these people, when they look at the ships, the sun, the love in the books, they feel like actually stealing it, quietly stealing it. Sometimes we go outside and we go to our friend's place, we just look at their house and we just yearn for it. कि I wish मेरे पास ऐसा होता. So similarly, these people, because they don't have any means, they also feel like just stealing it, कि हमें कहीं से ऐसा कुछ मिल जाए. I wish we'll also get something like that, right? And then he says on their slag heap. So these children, right? These children, they are so skinny that their bones are visible from their skin. And their eyesight is weak and the spectacles are broken. So that's why these children, they're just simply dwelling in hell. Living in that slum area is nothing like but living in hell, because you have to, it's not clean, it's dark, it's hidden from the world. So this is the part. And in the last paragraph, he says that unless, now how to improve the condition? Solution bhi to hona chahiye, right? So what's the solution? The solution is that unless governor, inspector, visitor, unlike the bureaucracy, the aristocracy, doesn't get involved honestly, religiously, only then this map becomes the window, and these windows, only then they will be able to work towards their betterment. And I have seen, like, if you see whether it's Dr. Manmohan Singh, APJ Abdul Kalam, and many other elite, right, they have come from quite a humble background. It's just that they have the potential, we just need to provide them with the opportunities, the platform. And then he says that break upon till they break the town. Just keep working on them. And finally, let their sun rise. History theirs, whose language is the sun. So let them just give them the chance to write history. Change what is there. Once there was this phrase I wrote called कि भावें असी गरीब जम्मे पर असी गरीब नहीं मरना. Even if they are born poor, they shouldn't be dying poor, right? Just be strong, go ahead, win the world. And in case you have this, you are blessed, we have all the means, the sources, we should work towards or for the people, those who don't have. At least we can share our books, some stationery and other things. Maybe they will at least be educated enough so that they can later on earn a decent livelihood. So this is the theme. The last theme is the freedom of bonds. Just these are the bonds, these are the clutches. Break them and go ahead. So this is quite a beautiful poem. It is part of class 12th CBSE board. Keep reading, keep sharing. Let learning be your muse, let sharing be your muse. God bless. Bye bye.